Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all of my baggage droppers around the world,
Bag drop.
welcome to another episode of the Drop Your Baggage podcast, where we talk to people that are dope, that can bring you hope, and show you a technique that can help you cope. I'm your host, the self-talk engineer, Charles Woolfork. Now, if you right here, right now on the YouTube platform, please consider hitting like and subscribe button. And if you're on a podcast platform, give a brother 5 stars and some feedback as well. Now, we have an outstanding guest today, y'all. Right here, right now, I am so honored to have on the show Foster Lee Brown III. Now, Foster Lee Brown, yes, sir, he is from Chicago, south side of Chicago. He joined the Air Force at 19 years old, and he's all the world, y'all. And after the military, though, he didn't have a clear path. He ended up being in Albuquerque, New Mexico, but his heart and his intuition and his spirit called him to Kauai. And now 10 years later, he's still here, but he is being a blessing to the community in so many different ways, including starting different organizations such as the First Veteran Support Center, and after much contemplation, his business focused energy, but most importantly, he's an amazing father and an amazing husband. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you Foster Lee Brown
Man, that was I appreciate that intro, bro. Real talk. No cap. That was nice. That was dope. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to be on your platform and grace your listeners with my presence. I appreciate your presence, my brother.
Man, I just really appreciate your energy and just like who you are, man. You just an outstanding dude. Like from day one, the first time I saw you and the first time I met you earlier on this week, this week, I was just like, yo, this guy's dope, man. Hey, so bro, there's so many places to start. We can start all the way back when you were in Chicago, but like what made you go into the Air Force?
So growing up in high school, I was an athlete, I played a bunch of sports. I didn't really rely on my intellectuals to get me through. It was just like my physical, and I would do things and pass grades because of a teacher might holler at coach type shit. You know what I'm saying? And, and then once I got to the end of my high school, I'm like, man, am I gonna play sports for the rest of my life, or am I gonna go to the workforce? It was like, what choice am I gonna make? Am I really gonna make it? I probably could have made it, but then I decided to go to the workforce, and I worked for like a year, and I was like, you know what, this ain't for me. I went to college, didn't have the discipline I needed to succeed. So I failed out of my first semester. And I'm like, man, am I really, all right, what I'm gonna do now? And so I joined the Air Force. It was like a last ditch effort to like, they gonna give me school, they gonna pay for me somewhere to live, and I'm good. I can get out of my mama's house.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. So you went ahead and pivoted, and like you didn't really like the workforce. So how was it in the Air Force when you got into that? And how many years did you serve?
So I did 8 years. I did 4 years active, 4 years inactive. And I had a hard time transitioning. I ain't gonna lie, because coming from the streets and then being in something that's super disciplined, it's like it's a culture shock. It's almost like a spiritual shock. It's like all of a sudden you yes sir, no sir, get your ass, you know what I'm saying, punished by doing something. But it was the best decision I think I ever made in my life, because I needed that structure, because I lacked that up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Went through the military, went to seen a bunch of countries, been to war a few times, and I realized that I didn't want to do that forever too. I wasn't going to retire doing that. First of all, I was what they call a combat engineer or civil engineer. So I was doing construction and building bases in like these barren places over there and overseas. Like it's called a bare base is what you call it. You go there and it's nothing but like sand and shit, dirt. Build a base, and that's what we do. Once we build a base, we'll leave and go build another base and repair runways in between and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I was like, I can't do this forever.
Hell nah.
So I got out and went back to school. But when I went to school this time, I had the discipline, get shit done, and I was like 4.0 student after that. You know what I mean? That's when I was in New Mexico. But then the problem is I was drinking a lot. I was getting good grades because it was easy to pass the test. But in the nighttime, I was like fighting a bunch of demons because I didn't really know who I was. I was lost. I was like, you know what I mean? In the transition mode. So did a bunch of thinking and praying and just soul searching. And I was like, you know what? I gotta fix this situation. I can't be in this like limbo kind of like, I know I'm greater than that. I know my purpose is greater than that. I just know that by my DNA. Like literally, I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can't put my finger on it, but it's in my finger. You feel me? was like, I got to get up out of here. I bought a one-way ticket. But before I bought the ticket, I did a any, mini, miny, mo from Miami to LA to all the Hawaiian Islands. I wanted to be by water. I knew the desert wasn't for me. And yeah, I found Kauai. The rest is history. That was 10 years ago, but in that 10-year frame, I did more in my life and for my life than I ever did the prior 20-something years before that.
What was it that started to like build and grow your consciousness so much into the spirit that you are today?
A lot of reflecting, a lot of thinking, a lot of quiet time. Like we busy ourselves with distractions and things, you know, to quiet the noise that we might have in there versus figuring out why that noise is there in the first place. And so me just, you know, watching what I was watching, you know what I'm saying? Paying attention to what I was putting in my body. And then also did the same thing with the foods, did that. And I'm like, you know what, as I'm doing this and I'm feeling better, I'm learning more information, then I'm applying information and I'm seeing like now the secret is real. Like you can manifest whatever you want. So I'm like, okay, this is the way. Like, and from that day on, I just try to live by like karmatic values and some principles that just create like more abundance by giving abundance, and you know what I'm saying, creating that karmic cycle of just giving and doing and giving and doing, so it comes back in that same sense.
Man, have you always been this natural born leader? Because like all these organizations that you started, whether it be the Veteran Support Center or the dispensary here on the island, or even like the Hawaiian Veteran Cannabis Alliance, like you like to bring people together, you like to start things, you know what I mean? Is that something that you've always been able to do and be successful at?
I was always a big thinker growing up, but like I didn't have the successes or even the understanding of how to like continuously get those blessings until I had the structure and understand the discipline that it takes to like stay at it, stay animate, like make sure you're doing the research, read, like take time away from the things that are taken from you, you know what I'm saying? Like eliminate toxic people out your circle. Like it's, you know what I mean? And as you do that, you start, it's not even start getting blessings, you start to get out your own way. And just more doors of opportunity open, and you just follow suit.
Oh yeah.
But it's a lifestyle. It ain't just one thing, you know what I mean? It's a bunch of things leaning up to it.
There's a reformation that you had to go through within yourself.
100%.
Yeah. Like
100%.
So all of a sudden this knowledge and this consciousness, you're reading, you're applying it, and you're like, oh snap, like this is working.
Yeah, no, for real, yo. No, dead ass. No.
That's awesome. And like, so when did you get into financial literacy and investing and everything?
So I started dabbling in the stock market probably like 4 years ago. And I would just buy stocks and, you know, watch it go. Like, I got a Tesla stock and I was like, oh shit, that shit keep on growing. And then about 2 years ago, I went to a mastermind in Miami with Nehemiah Davis. And it was a bunch of like just young entrepreneurs and just like movers and shakers over there. And each person that came, you know, were teaching us about the way that they became successful in their field, because they was all respective in different fields. And success loves to leave clues. I say that over and over. So you start applying the things that you learn from these so-called gurus, or I call them mentors, because, you know, I always reach out and ask questions. That's the only way that, you know what I mean? How you gonna learn anything unless you're not questioning it? So that they taught me. And then podcasts as well. So podcasts, I learned a whole bunch of things that I would like spark a interest in me. Then I would go look it up, and then I was gonna be like, oh shit, this. All right, boom. All right, you know, make sure your credit score to keep your credit score at 800. You got to keep your utilization under 10%. You know, and make sure you doing this and doing that. Don't pay the minimum, and like just learn. And I was learning all the intricate things, and then I stepped over to business credit and started dabbling in the business credit, and one thing led to another. And now I'm at a place where I understand financial literacy, not only because I didn't go to school for that. Like, you know what I mean? I learned this all from just practicing. Like I literally just tried the cycle, repeated the cycle, documented the cycle, tried the cycle over and over and over again, and just watched it like work. And then that's when I started teaching it, started making sure that I always practice on myself first to make sure it works with me first before I try anything. So 100%. that financial literacy angle is, now I just teach it for free now, man. You see me in the street, you call me, like I'm giving free consultations all the time, because I feel like it's something that people need to have. And then if you want to get into something for profit and you have the business or financial literacy aspect, now me and you can both be in good business together. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
It ain't about me, it's about the community, man.
Real talk. I mean, each one teach one, and also it's a blessing to you. Like, this intuitively, this all came upon you. So it's like, what else can you do but just give it out to the world? You know what I
Right.
mean?
No, for
That,
real. My
that's
mom, my mom just gave me this card. My birthday was on the 1st. She said, "Success is not judged." Wait, can you see that? Is that
yeah.
backwards?
Nope. Success isn't about how much you have; it's about how much you give.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, that's
that's
awesome.
that's just so that's really what I live by. I really live by that.
Yeah, real
But
talk.
I am flawed. I'm a human, right? And so
Mhm.
there's things that I want to work on still about myself. I know it's a forever fight. It's a marathon, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to each day be 1% better than the day I was. The only way I can do that is by reflecting and then accepting what I am flawed at and trying to work at that and fixing that day by day.
Yeah, hell yeah. And like obviously there was a huge turning point when you went to Nehemiah Davis's conference. What was one of some of the more beneficial things that you learned from that? Like that just really
Okay.
sparked it for you that turned into this inferno.
So one of the things is that really truly understanding that your network is your net worth. So
Hmm.
people you are surrounded by is exactly a reflection of what you're going to be having in your life. It's
Hmm.
only like it's almost like physics. It's like science.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's because the conversations are different in each circles of people. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
uh, after leaving that and hearing the conversation that I was having with these other people, and I'm just like, yo, bro, they talking about making 100K a month, and they trying to double that next quarter. I'm like, what
Yeah.
the wait, what? Like, that's real? Like you really just running it up like that? And they really was running it up. They would show you their accounts, and like it was all open and transparent, and it was all love. And like I want to be the same type of that. Like that community of people. Shout out to Nehemiah Davis. Shout out to the Circle of CEOs.
Hmm.
Shout out to everybody that was up there, man. Dave Chance. Hey, David Chance, we gonna have to add him and put you on the Sleep for Suckers podcast because you doing this thing in the community too, bro. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's one of those things where that was a life changing event in Miami. That thing showed me the perspective of like how you could be living.
Hmm.
Because I had never seen it. I've seen it from afar, like on TV and MTV Cribs and shit like that. But when you
Yeah.
actually there and you're being catered foods and the mansion and the yachts and just like the partying and the camaraderie and the love, and you're like, damn, this feels good. Ain't no fear involved. Ain't no stress. Ain't no like it's just jubilee. This is how
Yeah.
this is how humans are supposed to feel.
Yeah.
And so when I came back for that, I was like, okay, now everywhere I go, I'm trying to mimic this. I'm trying to mimic this because I want to be the representation of like this. Everywhere I go, I want to be helping and creating and just building, and you know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
that's the only way we can. That's the only way we can come together collective. You know what I'm
100%.
saying? We got
Yeah.
to.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Wow. Man, it just totally shifted your consciousness on like what was possible. And then
Thanks.
through that, you can just dream
Seeing
bigger
is believing.
and then be more. That's the
Yep.
thing about it. It's like, okay, like this is who I need to be in order to get that abundance. And it's just
Yep.
like, oh man, that's so awesome.
But it's crazy because, and I tell anybody that's listening to this podcast, I tell all my family members, all my friends, all my listeners
Uh-huh.
that 2 years ago I had a 500 credit score, never had a credit card in my life.
Yeah.
And now you fast forward that, I got a handful of credit cards, Max Platinum, Amex Business. Like it's crazy. 2 years, really
Yeah.
2 years of stand down and doing the work. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
I got 10 cars, bro.
You told me that the
I
other
got
day.
I got 10 cars. I had 2 repos. How?
That's awesome.
Credit is how. Credit is how.
Hell yeah.
Leverage your credit, bro. Anybody can do it, so it's no excuse. Oh, my credit's bad. My brother had a bankruptcy and still got 750 credit scores out here. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, come on, man. Come on.
It's just work.
Yeah.
Write the right letters, make the right calls, do the right
Mhm.
thing straight.
Wow. Yo,
Yeah.
tell us about your podcast. Your
All right,
podcast.
Focus Energy podcast is my podcast, and I talk about financial literacy. I kind of transitioned from the financial literacy to the new stuff that I'm learning recently, and it's like uniform commercial code and United States code and statute and law, trust law. Because that's what I'm reading right now. That's
Yeah.
all the stuff. I'm literally 10 toes down in this right now. Like, this ain't no.
I see it. Yo.
These are big books in here. Big books,
Uh-huh.
big statue, big codes,
Yeah, dense, very dense.
You gotta learn that, but you gotta learn it, or you gotta pay a lawyer a bunch of money to do it for you. One of the two.
I know that's right. Yeah, so now you're starting to talk more about the law side than the financial literacy.
Yeah, but it
Literacy.
won't be legal advice. It'll be just me literally explaining why you should get this type of trust and not this trust, or like why you need to own your LLC through your trust and own your life insurance policies through your trust. Like it's ways that are more beneficial to do it this way, have more protection than like operating it as a person with an LLC.
Yo, that is like $1 billion worth of game right there.
Oh my God. Come on, yeah, bro. This is trillion. Like the reason it's gonna be trillions is because once everybody understands this and I spread all of this knowledge out, then the people that I touch all rise up in a financial sense and of understanding and protection. And bro, that's what it's about, man. Like then they tell their kids, and then it's like we rebuilding. It's like rebuilding, like how the mycelium in the earth and the microorganisms like connect all the way through the earth. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, y'all, you see why I brought him on? I don't know what he just said. I don't know what he just said at all, but I know that's something. Hey, that's awesome. Hey, and most of all, we can't get into it because we're gonna transition over to the other side of the podcast. But congratulations on your baby girl that's coming.
No, she's here. She's here.
Yeah, oh, she's here. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
How old is she?
No, she's here. She's 2 months.
2 months. Oh, yeah. My bad. Okay.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so congratulations on the baby. And congratulations on the new business. Please tell people about the new business though that's coming up.
So this new business is a microorganism business that hopping in, and the reason, so the backstory is they use deep water, ocean water, and the bacteria that's down there by the volcanic flumes is a bacteria that you can harvest from there, and you add that to a different chemical and you feed that to the plants, and you can even drink it yourself or whatever once it's diluted. And it regrows things in the most efficient way, the most perfect way, because those bacteria that's by the volcanic fumes are some of the first original bacteria that ever were created. Damn. So they have like all of the key elements of all of the knowledge that any type of living organism would need. So it gives that organism the best version or efficiency of nutrients and stuff that it possibly can get. So it grows 2 times faster than if you didn't add it to something else. You know what I'm saying? And there's proof. This is like 20 something years of research done in like New Zealand, Japan, Australia, and Big Island. And we're going to be bringing the technology to Kauai too.
And you're going to be putting it in smoothie?
We're going to add, you essentially can add it to anything. It's one of those things where it'll be an option and you can say, okay, what is that? Then tell me more. Then it's like, okay, well, this is that. And then I'm like, whoa, yeah, give me 2 squirts of that. You know what I'm saying? Like people add ginseng shots or add, whatever, protein powder and things of the nature, mushroom powder. You can add an additive. But I'll send you over some of the information when we get off the podcast, and you will be able to look into it and see and just look at the data. And like, there's no need for words when it's self-explanatory. You know what I'm saying? What's understood don't need to be explained. When you 100%. See raw paperwork that says like, this is definitely the best thing out there. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like it must be so revolutionary for it to inspire you to start a whole business behind it. You know what I mean?
Well, so the thing is the person I'm be partnering with started the business. Is just, he's older, he's ready to transition. So he's trying to teach someone else the whole concept, because he knows it's good for the planet, not even his ego. And then that person is going to then take over the company as the face and as the new owner, and like the new reinvigoration of, getting the word out there of all the work that was done, and then using all of the data, which he's a data hoard. Like, he has this shit organized. Yeah, shout out to my guy, man. I ain't gonna say his name on here, man.
Okay.
He's still in the preliminary stages of getting all the paperwork signed and all the intellectual property rights and all that stuff. So yeah, next time we talk, I'll probably, once all the papers are signed and everything is going forward, like, I'm gonna let you know, like, even if you want to be a part of it, you know what I'm saying? I'll give you the opportunity to look into it and see if it's something you want to be about it too.
Thank you, bruh.
No doubt, man. No doubt.
You're the man, dog. I appreciate it. Hey, and man, for all the blessings that you've given me, now it's an opportunity for me to be a blessing. So right here on the podcast where we talk to people that are dope that can bring you hope, we also show you a technique that can help you cope. That technique is
Hey.
that technique is
Hey.
he's up there dancing. You guys is crazy. Hey, so the technique is the mental and emotional release process. It's a NLP or neuro linguistic programming process. It's a way where you're gonna shift your consciousness around the negative and traumatic things that happen to you in your life, but it's gonna have you feeling so peaceful, so joyful. And today you said you wanted to get rid of anger. So why do you want to get rid of anger?
It's just one of those things where it's like deeply rooted in me, and I know that I can be more compassionate and more understanding sometimes with my emotions. I'm a real quick like sprinter. I'm a sprinter. You know, I'm switched to. I'm good to be like or my dog chew up something. I'm like, what the. And like, you know, my son poured milk all down the suede seats of the car, and it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and I know it comes from like me and my mind thinking that I lacked something because I didn't grow up with something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, certain pieces were missing, and I didn't have the full, you know, the full package. And so I felt like I had a lot of anger and animosity towards that. I know that's probably where it comes from.
Yes, yes. So you already knew that there was a root to it. You already like known it. Now it's just the opportunity. You've manifested an opportunity to help you get rid of that. So now you can have a better relationship with yourself and your family, and of course everyone out there in the community as well. You know, that's pretty great. That's pretty cool. Like, what is that voice? If you could tap into that, like, what does that voice sound like in your mind when you get angry?
You sound like my father, honestly. Yeah. It sounds like my father. It's like the same voice, tone, like quickness.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
And let's do the body mind connection. If you were to tap into that anger, where do you feel it in your body, and to what intensity? 0 to 10?
Probably my heart, like my chest. Whenever I get mad, it's like a chest thing. It's like
yeah.
Yeah.
Can you get in touch with it now?
I'll have like ain't that like so I don't use my anger to like this. I don't bring it out. It comes out.
Yeah. It's just
like I'll be like, damn, and I'm like, fuck, man, why did I just say that? Why did I just do that?
Got you. Okay, we're not gonna bring that beast up out of here. It's okay. All right, couple more questions. Yeah. Do you think it has ever that your anger has ever costed you money, and if so, how much?
Yeah, in the past, thousands. Shit, like just even in the club and fighting and getting locked up. Then I have to go to jail. I miss a day of work, and then that happens multiple times. Then it's like, are you losing like income by the days that you calling off because your ass is in jail because you got somebody stepped on your shoe and you punched them. You're like, the fuck? It's like what are you doing? Like, that was my New Mexico days. That was a fucking wild ride. That was a wild ride.
It was a trip. Yeah. All right. So with that, like, let's go ahead and let's get rid of this anger. So there's 3 things that you need to do in order for you to get rid of this anger. Number 1, got to use your imagination. Number 2, got to follow directions just like you follow a good recipe or Google Maps.
Okay.
And number 3 is to trust the process. Know that I'm your guide. I'll be leading you through this easily and effortlessly, and I come from a place of love and high vibration.
Dope.
Yeah, yes. Now, the best way to help you get like the most profound experience is for you to see from other people's perspective. Once again, you got to see from other people's perspective. You got to have empathy, compassion, forgiveness, and acceptance. You know what I mean? So your perspective is super important, and like empowering yourself is super important. And the most prolific healing and the most prophetic healing, it comes from when you go from see from other people's point of view.
Right.
All right. Okay. All right. Let's get it. All right, man. So is it all right with your unconscious mind for you to release this anger today and for you to be aware of it consciously?
100%.
Awesome. And the root cause of this problem, the first event, which when disconnected, that will cause this problem to disappear. You said it was when you were 7 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, you guys, he said it was 7 years old. He was angry at his dad for leaving his mom. His dad had custody every other weekend, and sometimes he didn't show up.
Yeah.
Perfect. So we're going to start right there when you're 7 years old. All right, let's get it. So with that, you go ahead and close your eyes, relax, and let me know when you're ready for the process.
I'm good.
Awesome. Now we're gonna go ahead and have you use your imagination and have you following directions. So just imagine floating outside of your body as if though you were a spirit or energy. And just imagine floating above yourself right here, right now, from a third person point of view, seeing yourself like a fly on the wall. See the computer in front of you, the crown on your head, the chain on your neck, your beard. Let me know when you can see yourself from a third person point of view.
Yeah, I can.
Awesome. Now, just imagine that there's a timeline, like a timeline, and your past can be to your left, to your right, or behind you. If you were to know, where's your past?
Behind me.
Where's your future?
In front of me.
Awesome. So just imagine floating above your timeline and float behind you into the past and float deeper and deeper and deeper into the past, above that first event in which you felt anger when you were 7 years old. And just imagine seeing yourself right there as a little boy from a third person point of view, like a fly on the wall. Let me know when you can see that little boy.
Yeah, I can see him.
Awesome. Now just stay right there, observing the event. Be the observer. And as you do so, just ask your unconscious mind what it needs to learn from the event. The learning of which will allow you to let go of the emotions easily and effortlessly. Your unconscious mind can preserve the learnings so that if you need them in the future, they'll be there. Just tell your unconscious mind to preserve the learnings. This is an exercise of forgiveness and acceptance. Forgiveness for yourself and others, and acceptance of yourself and others. Who do you have to forgive? What do you have to accept? Who do you have to accept? Make sure that you show empathy and compassion for yourself and everyone else inside the event. And make sure that you see from other people's perspective. And as you do so, focus your attention upon how hurt people hurt people. We're all doing the best that we can with the resources and consciousness that we have. We can't control anyone else's actions, but we can control our response. We can grow stronger and wiser and learn from other people's actions and mistakes. Other people's actions have nothing to do with you. It's only a reflection of their baggage and their consciousness and whatever that's going on at the time. And we're better people than we were when those events occurred. You're a better person than you were when those events occurred. What is something positive and empowering that you could tell yourself and your dad and everyone else involved in the event with the consciousness that you have today that will allow the emotions to evaporate like water on the concrete on a hot summer day? And as you preserve these learnings, the emotions are starting to dissipate more and more until they're all gone. Just let me know when they're all gone. Make sure you're high above the event.
They're all gone.
Awesome. Now, with your eyes closed, tell me, what did you learn from the event?
That it wasn't my fault.
Mm-hmm.
That it wasn't his fault. You know, it's one of those things where, like you said, you only are operating out of a place that you have equipment to operate in. Like, if you're not taught this, if you don't learn this, if you didn't see this, how you gonna duplicate that?
Mm-hmm. Keep your eyes closed. It's all good. Make sure that you're above the event. Let me know when you're above the event.
Yeah, I'm above it.
Gotcha. Is there anything else that you learned from the event?
Probably like how not to be. You know what I mean? Like do better, do the opposite type deal.
Exactly. What wonderful, wonderful lessons. All right. Now, just imagine floating up above your timeline and float behind you into the past and float deeper and deeper and deeper into the past, above the dinosaurs during the prehistoric age. Let me know when you're above the dinosaurs.
Above the dinosaurs, damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me know.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, as you're above the dinosaurs, just imagine floating into space and float deeper and deeper and deeper into space to where space and the atmosphere connects. And imagine your timeline is the size of a fingernail. Let me know when you're there.
Damn, okay.
All right. Now just imagine floating there in space, weightless, and ask yourself now, where are the emotions? Tell me, are they there or have they disappeared now?
They're gone. Like, yeah, they're gone. We got like beyond, it's beyond everything. Like it's an understanding. It's a powerful understanding.
Yeah, hell yeah. Now, just imagine floating down inside the event, seeing through your own eyes as a 7-year-old little boy and see if the emotions are there or they may have disappeared.
Yeah, he's just chilling. He inside the house now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Awesome. Now, just imagine floating back above the dinosaurs and then float into space to where space and the atmosphere connects. Let me know when you're there.
Okay.
All right, listen closely. Float very, very high above your timeline, above each and every event in which you felt anger, from birth until now, in chronological order. Don't skip one event that has a charge on it. Preserve the learnings and let go of all the anger, all the way back to now. Go. Be very detailed. Any event that you ever remember feeling angry about, float above that event. You go ahead and deal with that event through your perspective and everyone else's perspective. Float very, very high above your timeline, above each and every event in which you felt anger, from birth until now in chronological order. Don't skip one event that has a charge on it. Preserve the learnings and don't come back to now until all the anger is gone. And when all the anger is gone, you let me know. That's right. Let it all go until it's all gone. Let me know when it's all gone.
All gone.
Awesome. Now, just imagine floating down into your body and open your eyes when you're ready.
Ooh, oh, shit. Damn, that was gnarly. That was gnarly.
That's that shit, huh?
That's just up.
How do you feel?
Loved. That's like the biggest emotion that, it's one of those things where the feeling of lack thereof makes some of the reactions that you have. Like you said, it's a mirror of their baggage. And it's like, it's the truth. It's just facts. That's like irrefutable. You know what I'm saying? There's no denying that. That's you got to admit that. Then you got to, once you reflect on that, like that's profound.
Yeah,
That's
very much
profound.
so. Because it's like it has nothing to do with me, with their, perspective or how they act or how they react to something has nothing to do with me. Like that was very profound what you said about your the lessons that you have from your father. It's not my fault, right? But it's also not his fault as well. He didn't
Right.
have that consciousness.
Exactly.
Oh, that's deep.
Yeah.
Man, like how did that feel when releasing that and letting that go and seeing him as a different, like as a man instead of as a dad?
Right. Yeah. No, it's compassion, right? It's like how you gonna hold me to a standard of something that I ain't even have an opportunity to be like we want me to race Usain Bolt, but I ain't equipped to do it. So and then you gonna be mad if I lose to Usain Bolt?
Yeah.
So damn, like yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah,
What other?
that's
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
like weightlifting off. I'll get the weight off and like rack it. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
that's deep.
It's a sense of peace, just seeing something from a totally different point of view. Like, yo, like I held this so much because I never met my father. You know what I mean? So when I saw him as this immature, scared, irresponsible young man, just like I was in college when I was 25 years old, or not 20, but like when I was in college, I was that same dude. I was
Yeah,
like, how am I going? I don't know this man. I don't even
yeah,
know this dude. You know what
right,
I
right.
mean?
You don't know what he was going through, right? Like you don't know that. Yeah.
Real talk. Now, what other things that were quite valuable for you in the future did you learn throughout your timeline?
That also on top of that, like the root cause of my anger and a lot of the other anger I have was probably initiated through the military and like being in disagreements with some of the things that I was being forced to do and told to do. And then like me getting out and being completely alienated and angry at the fact that I just lost a brotherhood, but at the same time I got away from a military complex industrialism thing and I was really lost. And that anger was only from that. And like at the end of the day, it's not my fault that I didn't agree with something, right? I made my decision and got out and moved on. And like, why are you even, that shit is all in the past. Like, fuck all that shit.
I mean, but like it's one of those things to where your subconscious holds on to that. And like you said, you had a brotherhood. I mean, had we only time we have that type of experience like that where we have that type of brotherhood is back when we were playing sports and you played sports like.
Yeah.
Yo, those are your boys, your brothers. You know what I mean? And also, it's like, man, they program you in the military as well.
Oh God, yeah, 100%. They have to. They can't be having you rogue out there. You know what I'm saying? You better be 2, 3, 4. Not saying nothing wrong with like you gotta be in tune. You gotta be in tune with the machine. You can't be no cog in the wheel. You will be the fuck out of here. You don't want to be out of there in the military because you can't even get a job at McDonald's with a dishonorable discharge.
Oh my gosh, I know. No. Yeah. Can you get that off your record?
There's probably ways if you understand some laws and things like that. There's probably a way. And you can always appeal things, and you know what I mean.
I was just thinking, how do you feel as though if you didn't have that charge, once you don't have this charge, because like now you've had like several major breakthroughs, you know what I mean? Like how many memories do you think you went over in that small amount of time?
I can't even count type shit.
Yeah.
It was literally like time after time. Like I went back to like my first fight that I ever got for being pushed by this dude named Kyle. And I'm like, man, he was just mad because I had all the bitches. Like I was telling them, like I'm in there making jokes of the shit. And I'm like, why the fuck you hold on? That's the first I was mad because he pushed me. And then I was like, oh, I did this. And I got expelled at this, at this time. And I got all the times I got detention and cursed somebody out and all the fights, like, all of the skate rinks fights and the shooting guns, like all type of shit, bro. Like bro, yeah. So it was a whole lot of memories.
So you did a whole lot of healing. You did a whole lot of break. So every single time that you let go of like the anger within that, and you saw why you did, that's a breakthrough. And just breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough. So within all that, how do you think that life is going to be once you don't feel that charge of anger?
To be predictive, I would think high level, because
Mm.
since before COVID, since I've really made the transition about 3 years ago when I started Focus Energy, every year is progressively like got better.
Yeah.
And so I'm already seeing that my 2023 was going to be better before you. So it's like now it's going to be the best because of, like, you know what I'm saying? Those are setbacks. Like, those are holdbacks.
Yeah.
Being able to just do breath work and honestly think about what I'm about to do, what I'm about to say, even if it takes me a little while, right? Be patient, because I'm so quick. I'm like, nah, it ain't even worth it. My future is not worth my future. The karmatic value that's going to come with that.
100%. If you can come, what do they say? Competently conscious. You know what I mean? Like, if
Conscious.
yeah,
Okay.
you know, in the 4 stages of growth.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is, like, if you can actually be aware, like, oh snap, I'm charged right now.
Okay.
And then you can think about it, and then you can control it.
Okay.
That right there is that's a major breakthrough. Because with the four like steps of growth, and there's other like names for it, but I in the book that I'm reading, it said that you can just lose your shit. It's like, oh, I'm hot. I can't believe this. You know what I mean? Don't even think about calming down.
Okay.
All right. And don't even think about, oh, I'm mad right now. And then the next stage is, you know, you're mad, right? You see it, but you still can't control yourself. You know what I mean?
Okay.
All right. That's the second stage. And then the third stage is, okay, I see that I'm mad. All right, now let me reason this out. Okay, so you know, this person's doing this, and you know, I look at me. I don't need to be getting mad off of this. You know what I mean? Like, reasoning it out, like making it to where it doesn't make sense to get mad, or looking at different ways and where you can have compassion and empathy, and then you diffuse it. That's the third stage.
Okay.
And then the fourth stage is when you don't even think about it. Like, something happened that used to piss you off, you don't even think about it no more like that.
That's like mastery. That's mastery level, huh?
100%.
Okay.
100%. Where you don't even have to think about it. It's just like now that peace and that empathy and compassion is a part of you.
Dope.
Yeah. So like what this exercise does is it gets you to that third and fourth level.
Okay.
You see? So like I on the podcast, we also do an update. So on the update, we reach back out to you 3 to 4 weeks later, see like, hey, how you been? You know what I mean? Right. What's been some instances where you've seen a difference within yourself?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. Hell yeah. Much love.
Yeah, bro, of course, man. Thank you so much for coming onto the podcast, bro. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you having me, man. I look forward to this life of anger free, man. You know? Sucker free and anger free. You feel me?
hey, bro, please.
Peace and blessings.
With all of the people out there, please give us one more bit of wisdom.
So progression over perfection. Understand that it's a long game, and you just got to slowly do it. You know, and another one of my sayings that I use for my company Focus Energy is make today the day. One of those things where don't wait till tomorrow, don't wait till next week, don't wait till the first on the year. You know what I'm saying? Make today the day, even if it's little incremental steps, small little steps. Each step counts, then compound that interest daily. And bro, you can look up and be wherever you want to be. I promise you that.
I love it. Hey, thank you so much, Foster, for coming onto the podcast. And of course, thank you all out there too for your attention and your support. If you're still here, you might as well go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. If you're on the YouTube platform, if you're on the podcast platform, give the brother 5 stars and some feedback as well. Hey, right here on the Drop Your Baggage podcast, where we talk to people that are dope, that can bring you hope and show you a technique that can help you cope. I'm your host, the self-talk engineer, Charles Woolfork, with my special guest, Foster Lee Brown the third. And
peace and blessings, y'all.
Yeah. And until next time, y'all, take care of yourself. Take care of one another. Peace. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all of my baggage droppers around the world, welcome to another episode of the Drop Your Baggage Update with your boy, the hip-hop hypnotherapist, the self-talk engineer, Charles Woolfork. And I am here with, oh my gosh, just somebody that's close to my heart like no other. My Morpheus, what can I say? This is Foster Lee Brown the third. Wait a second. I'm so sorry. I just dead named you, dog. What's your new name? Your new official name?
Well, I mean, legally, I still go by Foster Lee Brown III, but we're going to do AKA the Almighty Ra, or Razine L.
Razine L. I love it. And we got to have a conversation about that later on, for sure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's awesome. First of all, Foster here has, with everything that he was talking about during his initial episode about like studying law and doing all, doing all these things to help him with the wealth that he has and the amount of freedom that he and his family have, like now he's got me doing it, and I'm just so grateful that he has me going down this rabbit hole. So thank you so much. I want to say that officially on the show.
No doubt. Appreciate you too, bro.
Yeah.
You put in work.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so on the last on his episode, he released Anger, and like, Doc, tell me how it's been for you since our episode.
Man, it's been peaceful. I can say that. You know what I mean? It's been transcendent. I feel like one of those. So I realized that my pick to go from 0 to 100, like I said before, had nothing to do with me after the conversation that me and you had previously. It was like me just holding on to a bunch of what you call baggage and, having to shed that old skin, shed that old weight, because a lot of those feelings were reactionary. They weren't like coming from me in my present day, in my present feeling, in my present life. And so what I've done is just reflect on where I'm at now. Anytime I got those feelings that come in and they bubble up, because they go always come, right? This is a lifelong journey, battle type deal.
Mm-hmm.
But when I feel those feelings bubble up, I think about like where I'm at, what I've accomplished, who my family is, what my future is going to look like, and I subside all of those feelings like almost like instantly, like fuck out of here. No point.
I love it. I'm the boss. I love it. So like, okay, so comparatively, where did your let's compare the old to the new. Where did your mind used to go before we did the work?
Chicago. Used to
Yeah.
go. I'm from Chicago. Don't fuck with me. Like I choke you out. Like I don't know.
I beat your ass.
I beat your ass. Yeah. Outside. What you talking about?
Yeah, and you didn't and now you're in gorgeous Kauai where
Exactly.
I mean, my doors aren't even locked right now in my car.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So you didn't now you see.
For real?
Oh, that's so stupid. I hope my neighbors don't watch this episode, right? No, but okay. So so what you're saying is you're staying present and reflecting upon and reflecting and having gratitude for the blessings that you have, and then seeing like, wow, it's not so bad.
Right. Like staying present and staying grounded in the present, understanding where I want to be in the future. And if I operate in anger or scarcity, then my future is going to be greatly damaged by that.
100%, 100%. So with that scarcity, what would the scarcity be about? That would cause you to have anger before?
Well, the lack of love and understanding for myself. You know what I mean? To understand, like me acting in a way where I'm trying to force the other person or the other party to let them know, like I ain't fucking around. That's why I would get mad, right? Like this is my mad face. This is my don't fuck with me face. But at the same time, that's a scarcity mindset because I don't have to show you how angry I can get. I don't have to show you how mean I can be. You know what I mean? I can just still operate out of love and just hit you back. Even if you are disrespecting me, calling me out my name, like don't touch me or damage my property because then we're going to have a real problem.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, I'm out. Like, I'm cool. I can let that pass and just be like, okay, obviously there's something going on with you that you need to heal, that you need to work on. That's why you're projecting that towards me. It's not just operate like that, man. And I don't have any fear anymore of like being looked at as soft. I don't care of like you think I'm weak. You can think whatever you want. It don't matter. I'm not meeting you where you're at. Anybody. So that's where it was. If somebody got mad or pissed me off, it was because I was meeting them at where they were at that moment. I don't have time for that no more.
Wow, it's like the initial word that you said was peaceful. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's exactly what it sounds like. Like you don't have time for the nonsense. You're staying right here in this moment, and it's just your awareness. Your awareness.
Yep.
Yeah, is at a high. Do you have any specific stories that you could tell us about how you might have snapped in the past, but you realize like, oh, I'm cool.
Well, yeah, I got one from last week. I was walking my dogs to Medina Stadium.
Yeah,
my dogs are trained, like you know what I mean. One's a service animal, and one's is like she's gonna be his breeding companion whenever she gets of age. Probably like she just already had her first heat, so probably like end of this year.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm walking my dog, and Like I take him off leash whenever I see that there's a clear path and there's nobody around. And I'm walking and there's nobody there but me, my dogs, my wife, my kids. And this lady drives up and pulls over to the side and is like, "You need to put your dogs on a leash." And I was like, "Oh shit, I'm sorry. Like, is there a dog around?" Like, I'm thinking like, you know what I'm saying? My dog's never attacked any other human or dog ever. Like, it's not going to be a problem. But my initial thought, because she was persistent at like berating me, telling me, you know, that's illegal. I'll call the police on you, this and that and the other. I immediately felt it in my gut to be like, wait, hold up. Like, first of all, now you threatening me by calling the police on me by just being peaceful with my family walking down the street. And so my initial reaction was like, you need a leash. And then I thought about it. Like, it was like, hold up. I'm gonna just be silent in this moment. I'm gonna just, you right. I apologize if I offended. Boom. That's it. Keep it moving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, then I was just like, whoa. Like, my girl was like, what the fuck? Who are you? Because she knew, she was like, Foster, please, Foster, please, no. And just like, yeah, that was just one of the instances. So I'm like, shit.
Like, yeah,
I was there.
It could have went from 0 to 100 real quick.
Oh, real quick for no reason.
Yeah.
What? Like, you pulled over on me.
You need a leash. Oh my God, what a comeback. That's hilarious. Hey, but like that's it though. Like the reaction. It's like, oh, it's all good. You know what I mean? You right.
Yeah.
I got it. Yeah, you got it. It's okay. All right. You know, it's like it's not you didn't have to escalate and you didn't. That's amazing. Yeah.
I wanted to. Don't get me wrong. We ain't perfect as humans. I wanted to. I was I had to suppress all that shit.
So, oh my gosh. Yeah, dog. I had a situation with my girl where she's really good at knowing which buttons to push to kind of like peer pressure me into something. So we're up till like 2:00 in the morning and we're having a great time drinking and everything. And she wants to watch another movie. And we've already watched 2 movies already. We're just kicking it, right? She's like, oh yeah, whoop-de-whoop. Oh yeah, well, oh, I guess you don't want to spend time with me, whoop-de-whoop. And I'm like, I could have been like, Heffa, do you know, like, you know what I mean? Like, but instead, I'm like, babe, I'm about to take a shower. I'm about to go to bed. Enjoy your movies. And that's exactly what I did. And then the next day, that's when I was able to tell her politely, don't you ever come at me like that again. Because in this family, you know, we support each other and taking care of ourselves. You know what I mean? Like so if I got to take care of myself by going to sleep, because I got to go to work at your shop, by the way, at your shop, then we're going to support one another. But before, it would have been like, who the fuck you think you talking to?
No, facts. That happened to me last night. But I subsided and watched the movie, even though I was tired, because I haven't been spending a lot of time, you know, like that quality one-on-one time. We, you know, the food truck is here, we doing all that. So it's like, I was like, you know what? You're right, baby. Let's watch it. We watch Equalizer. She ain't never seen it. The first one.
Oh, with Denzel.
Denzel
on that he went old school with that action film right there.
He went crazy.
Hey, and it's important to make sure you spend that QT.
Oh yeah.
But we're like, yo,
but the old me would have been like, fuck you, I'm going to sleep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not in a nice way like you did it. I would have been like, I'll just walked out. Like, like who the fuck you talking to? And she'd have been mad. She'd have been out there like, you don't spend no time. It's the same thing. Everything is yeah. You got it. You got it. Trust me.
It's the it definitely has it definitely minimizes the amount of conflicts that I have.
Friction. Yep.
Yeah, 100%. And it also, I'm able to talk to people in a different way. I was at the club one time and this dude was he was drunk and he was talking, you know, shit to my boy. And instead of like going to him and like, you know, what you think, what you talking about? We can just go outside, you know, just join me outside. Let's just go outside. Let's have a talk. I was like, instead I'm like, yo, bruh, we came here for a reason. I'm sure you came here for a reason. You came here to get girls. Right. They're over there. You're gonna mess it up. You're gonna mess it up. Like, dog, let's be rational about this. Why don't you let's stay over here. You stay over there. and it's all good. Like, and then right there, boom, beef is squashed.
Yep.
It's a quality of the conversation that you have. It's a rationale that you have when the anger is gone that you just don't have before.
It's crazy. It's crazy that you say that, because speaking about friends and stuff, you realize once I'm in this like mode, I'm in my you can't knock me off my square mode. I see the issues in others, right? Whenever they go from 0 to 100, and I'm sitting there trying to be like a voice of reason, and then when I'm not being heard, I'm just like, oh shit, okay, they need Charles or they need some help. Like, I keep it moving, and I don't try to sit there and judge the people, because I was there. I literally was there.
Yeah, 100. Like, you definitely, when you have that part of your baggage, when you release that part of you, you know what I mean, and you've healed that wound inside of your heart, that then you see it, and like you said, you see it in others. You know what I mean? So like, I mean, I've done so much work on myself. So whenever I hear a limiting belief, boom, oh, that's a limiting belief right there.
Yep.
If I hear, it's like intuitive now. A fear of the unknown. Oh, you're hurt and disappointed. Oh, that's sadness. Like all these different things, and it's like, man, whenever, and I always offer people, whenever you're ready, I got you. Just let me know when you're ready, and we can get rid of that, and it all just goes away. My girlfriend, you ever heard of Mana Up?
Mana Up,
yeah,
like man up.
It's a Hawaiian.
Yeah, Mana.
Yeah. So Mana Up is a program that helps small businesses on the islands, and my girlfriend, she like plenty of people have told her to go join this program over and over and over again over the years, and she's just always never did it. And finally, her business has blossomed. You know what I mean? Like doing the 6 figures and everything. You know what I mean? Almost got 10,000 followers on Instagram, and this that like really over the last 7-8 years, she's been building. And it's come to this, and now it's an opportunity where it would be foolish for Mana Up not to accept her as a client or as a person that they would like to help. And yet she still wasn't going for it. I'm like, yo, you have a fear of failure. You have a fear of failure. And she's like, blah, blah, blah.
Or fear of success.
It's not fear. Yes, that is so true. That is so true.
People don't want that limelight. Some people don't want that high level.
It's different though. It wasn't the high level. It was, think of the amount of work that I'm going to have to do.
It is work.
Yeah.
Everything take work.
It
take work everywhere.
Like, what if I go from like low 6 figures to mid to high 6 figures? That's a lot of like, I'm the production right now. I don't have the consciousness about this. I don't have the consciousness about that. Fear of success in that way as well. But it was mostly the fear of failure. She didn't know if they were going to accept her. I'm like, yo, are you kidding me right now? Like, of course they're going to accept you. And we had to get rid of that fear of failure. Man, she went ahead. She filled out the application. Next week, she has an interview. She just made some pieces for them, just bezeled some pieces for them. Like, she's going to kill it. She's going to kill it. And now she's going to have the opportunity to reach those goals that she set last year. But just because I was able to see it, we were able to address it. And then she was able to grow. And that's how it is. You see it, you address it, and then you grow.
Nice.
Yeah. But so I'm just saying, I see where you coming from with the homies or whatever. You know what I mean?
All right, go ahead. Somebody was calling.
No worries. Is it liberating for you to see that you have that awareness and that consciousness now for other people?
Yeah, it is, because like it's a new version of myself. But that's why also, Almighty Ra is here to play, because it's one of those things where I had to understand that in order to level up, I had to let go of some things that were holding me back. And Ra itself means calm, dignified, and composed. And it's one of those, like, how do you want to be remembered? How do you want to be like known? 100%. And it's like freeing, right? It's the next level, because in my life I've had these like steps, come up, step, and I never plateaued. Like I never got to a point where I'm at a peak. It's like, what's next? Because if I would have sat back and reflected on my life here recently, I would have told myself before I had a conversation with you, before I did like any of the work, that I was at a place that was, the best I've ever been, the most I've ever had, the happiest I ever felt, and there was still more work to do. Then after doing the work, I'm realizing like, damn, I'm just getting started. Like, it's not even about being at a finish line. It's not about being at like a end goal. And I literally think it's a fresh start. It's like, okay, let's see what I can accomplish with knowing like this, like knowing what's to come, having the tools in my repertoire in order to see. And that's why the name change is so apparent too, is because now it's like I'm shedding literally all the baggage that was associated with FLB3. And it's not saying that it was all bad. A lot of that shit is good, but at the same time, it's like in order to see what's next, I have to let go of what was in the past. And even though I got to that place of like, oh my goodness, this is the best I've ever been, I got there literally with anger. I got there literally with stress. I got there literally with anxiety, whatever you call it. And now I shed all that. Like, oh my God, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit, and you know it.
I love it. Hey man, well, Doug, I'm proud of you. Thank you for coming on to the show. Thank you for entrusting me with this opportunity to be a blessing. I really appreciate it, and thank you so much for the blessings that you've given me as well.
Likewise.
Yeah, and just a question, just one more question. So, like, you released anger. If you could release any other emotion, whether it be sadness, fear, hurt, and disappointment, or guilt, which one would you release?
Well, I mean, it'd probably be disappointment in others because I feel like I get disappointed with other people really quickly because I'm a doer, right? And so when I see other people who are not doers, I immediately get like judgmental a little bit. I'm sitting there like, damn, man, like, what the fuck, bro? Like, you know how easy it is to do this shit? And you won't do it. You literally, like, even with the stock charts, like, it's like, it took me a year to learn this shit. I didn't learn this overnight. But people look at it now, you're so intimidated by it because you don't know. And it's the same thing with UCC. Like, I was still doing the UCC process. I was fully invested in it. And then once I found out some new information that it's like, okay, I'm going to go back to the UCC once I do this. In my head, it's like I'm putting myself in a position of like, damn, now I'm not following through with what I was telling people that I was doing. So, fuck, why am I holding other people to a standard that I'm not even holding myself to? It's always a reason. It's always so I needed to release that disappointment in others of like when they don't accomplish the things that they want or the things that they say or the things that they want to do.
Yeah. We're all doing, we're all doing the best that we can with the resources and consciousness that we have. And usually it's the consciousness part. You know what I mean? Like people don't know how great that they are. They don't know that they are God. You know what I mean? And when they and since they don't come from that place, then like you're gonna make those excuses or you're not gonna execute, or you're gonna procrastinate, or you're not even like gonna start the process. You know what I mean? Like at least starting the process and going slow, kind of like how I have. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's the part where at least you're making progress. Remember, was it progression, not perfection?
Progression over perfection, yes.
Yeah, that's what it's about. So, like, yeah, I mean, I think it's so profound that you are now forgiving others, and therefore you have the capacity to forgive yourself as well.
Right.
That's very profound. Good job. Very good.
No, I appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm gonna let you get to Moose. I know he's up partying now. It's home.
Partying, yeah. You watching Curious George? Well, he was supposed to. He's over here watching me now. Curious Daddy.
Well, thank you so much for showing up for your divine appointment. You are officially a baggage dropper. Hey, Moose, and thank everyone out there for listening and being a part of this journey with us. And please consider hitting the like and subscribe button if you're on YouTube, and if you're on a podcast platform, give a brother 5 stars and some feedback as well. Hey, any wise words on this one? Any wise words?
Stay at it. It's a lifelong journey. Crush all your goals, but don't let your goals be your end destination. Your final destination. Like I said, progression over perfection. Make today the day, baby. Don't even worry about it.
I love it. And with that, you guys take care of yourself and take care of one another. Peace.